A very interesting report from Italy claims that the Trump administration is secretly moving to seize control of UAP programs from the Pentagon to present himself as the president who finally tells the American people the truth. But behind the scenes, a sitting congressman is revealing something even more extraordinary: that these programs are operating illegally, outside congressional oversight, and ruining the lives of anyone who dares to speak out. Hey ufologists, I'm Cristina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. Eric Burleson seems to be the spokesman for Congress at the moment when it comes to addressing UFOs, and he recently took part of the Saul Foundation event. During this interview, he mentioned this.
I fully believe that there is a crash retrieval program. I'm confident that exists. The question is, what are they retrieving? And are the stories of Jacob Barber and others true, that occasionally they will retrieve something that's non-human intelligence, or that's created by someone outside of Earth. So that's yet to be proven to me. And so, but I fully believe and know that there is a crash retrieval program. Often retrieving our own materials, our test materials, or our adversaries' materials.
According to a July 16th report in the credible Italian news magazine El Espresso, the Trump White House is actively seeking to gain control of secretive UAP programs from the DoD. And the report, citing anonymous sources, suggests Trump is considering full UAP disclosure as a political masterstroke. If you enjoy UFO news, updates, case studies, and interviews, then I think you will like this channel. Subscribe, hit that like button, and share this episode with those you want to keep in the know with the latest UFO news.
Now, while we here at the Soul Briefing would generally not give such reporting much credence, we find it notable that the publication in question, L'Espresso, is generally considered a credible center-left investigative news magazine, roughly on par with The Atlantic or Mother Jones in the United States.
This isn't just political theater. Senator Mike Rounds and Chuck Schumer are simultaneously reintroducing the UAP Disclosure Act legislation so extraordinary, it alleges a secret government legacy program has retrieved UFOs and biological evidence of non-human intelligence. The timing, some might say, is a little coincidental.
Perhaps more importantly, the Disclosure Act would supersede all previous classification mechanisms governing UAP and establish a panel of 9 distinguished citizens to review government UAP records for public disclosure.
This legislation would essentially bypass decades of government secrecy with unprecedented authority. Congressman Burleson recently confirmed he's working directly with Senator Rounds to sponsor the House version of this Disclosure Act. But here's what makes this attempt different from previous failures. The key obstructionist is gone. Mike Turner, the congressman who previously gutted the most important provisions of the UAPDA, is no longer chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. The new chairman, Rick Crawford of Arkansas, is, according to Burleson, absolutely willing to be helpful. Burleson is now publicly alleging illegal activity by shadowy elements of the U.S. government. That's big for a congressman to say.
I'm going to be sponsoring language that Senator Rounds is also sponsoring in the Senate that requires disclosure. We're working with David Grusch on that language, and so it will basically require the agencies, especially the White House, to have to release any and all information that after a certain period of time. That's probably the number one goal. Outside of that, we want to protect whistleblowers, and so there's language that I think that we all support. Tim Burchett has got some language that provides protection for whistleblowers, because a lot of these individuals, their life is completely upset. They lose their benefits, they lose their pension, their health care benefits, and they lose their job. And we don't want to make patriots who take the bold step to have to sound the truth to the American people, to have to suffer like that. And then in addition, we have the hearing. And so I think at the end of the day, a lot of the goal on disclosure is not to do these things behind closed doors, not to be, get in a skiff. That's really not our goal. Our goal is to get as much information out to the American people as possible.
And the timing here is very interesting because Michael Herrera created a recent video warning people against coming forward.
Because even though people come forward, everybody's experiences differ, obviously. So I want people to understand that I would reconsider if you're thinking of coming forward. And the reason being is because you're going to get shortchanged immensely. You're going to be put in a position where you're going to fend for yourself, or you're going to be into a network of other people who are similar, and it's the same thing. It's almost like survival of the fittest to an extent, but that's the thing that at least benefits is you get to be included into a network of people who are going through the same shit you're going through. Our lives have taken a huge hit by taking a risk, and we're not getting money from it. We're not getting any kind of benefits from that. Our lives have become hell, simple as that, So at the end of the day, it makes you feel like, what the hell was it for? If we're not getting our freedoms from this, and helping the world and helping the people stuck on the other side, and there's a lot of good people stuck on the other side, I want people to understand that.
And Congressman Burleson's most controversial decision may prove to be his own masterstroke. He hired David Grusch as a congressional staffer, being a special advisor, possibly making him the first UAP whistleblower ever employed by Congress after testifying.
And the reason why I brought him on is because, just from my experience working with the staff of the Oversight Committee, who are I think the Oversight Committee staff are the best, some of the best staffers on Capitol Hill. But they are not intelligence community people. Many of them are attorneys. They know how to investigate, fraud, but this is a totally different topic. And so it became abundantly clear that I don't know where to even go look. They don't know where to go look, or who to ask, or who to talk to, or what to do, how to navigate this web of bureaucracy that is the intelligence community. Look, I need almost a decoder to understand all the acronyms that David Grusch knows so well. In fact, whenever he and I are talking, I often have to say, I need a translation. I need a translation for what you just said. Can you please stop using acronyms here? But yeah, that he has been an absolute asset, and it is very unconventional. I took a big risk, and a lot of people told me that this was not to do this. But look, I mean, if we're going to get somewhere, I just knew that if we didn't do this, or hire someone like Dave, get somebody like him on board, we were just going to keep spinning our wheels.
Grusch has now met twice with the Pentagon's Aero office, including what Burleson describes as a long conversation. Now, how long? Well, we don't know that, but it could be anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe even 5 hours. And this represents a dramatic shift from earlier stonewalling, where Aero's former director Sean Kirkpatrick claimed Grusch refused to speak with his office. Now, my question is this, though. After all the harassment that Grusch has gotten from people on the inside and on the internet, why did he decide to be a special advisor for Burleson? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because as we can remember, soon after the 2023 hearing, he stepped back almost completely, doing maybe 2 or 3 interviews before he was practically never seen again. And so what urged him to get back into the government? And then keep in mind that Luna and Burleson are trying to get another UFO hearing, but it keeps getting delayed. They said May, then August, then September, and then Luna mentioned to ask a poll whenever the witnesses are ready to testify, which could be tomorrow, that could be in 10 years. We simply don't know. But this hearing is going to be very different from the other ones.
This hearing that we're going to do is going to get us a little bit closer because we're seeking and trying to get people in that hearing that are firsthand witnesses, people that have had encounters, that have had their hands on material, that in their official capacity working for the federal government.
If crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs exist, as Burleson now states he fully believes, the implication should be important, right? But belief is not the same as definite. Belief does not cut it. Or does it? Let's just say it's been a very interesting few weeks in the world of UFO news. But what do you think about what's really going on? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That is it for today. I will see you next time. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.
If you enjoy the strange and the mysterious, UFOs, the paranormal, and cryptids, this channel is for you. So make sure to subscribe as I do 3 videos right here every single week, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of the bonus content I post right here.